let's just go over a few of these. So let's start with here. It's easier if you write the number with the more digits on the top. So we can write 8.497 and do times 5.5. Now, we're not adding anymore, so you don't need to line up decimals. You justify everything to the right. So indent to the right. And the process was you'll multiply these two, these two, these two, these two, and then that'll be one line, and repeat the process with the next number. It so happens these are the same numbers, so you're going to see the same numbers on both rows, offset by one digit. So here we go. First we do 5 times 7, 30. Oh, I already started off wrong. 5, sorry. Use this. Okay, so 35, and then 5 times 9 is 45, plus 3 is 48. Now, we want to keep things lined up as much as possible, because if you put things in the wrong column, it's not going to work. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 4 is 24. 5 times 8 is 40, plus 2 is 42. So we should have 42485 on the first line. Double check that. Okay. Now repeat the process, but if you see this, when we repeat the process, we're going to do 5 times 7, and we get 35 again. It's just going to be offset by 1. We're going to start right here and carry the 3. 5 times 9, 45, plus 3 is 48. So you end up getting the exact same numbers. It's a nice thing if you're multiplying by the same digit twice. The rows are identical, just offset by one digit. And these we add up. So 5. 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. 5 plus 8 is 13. Carry the 1 again. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. And 4 plus 2 is 6. And bring down the 4. Now there's two ways you can figure out where the decimal goes. If you go back to the original question, it's like 5 times 8, right? Yeah, 5 point something times 8 point something. So 5 times 8 is 40, right? So we expect our answer to be around 40. So just looking at this, well, makes sense, okay, 46.7335. Just by estimating. Now you can do the actual step and say, well, you start on the right hand side on both of these and you say how many times you have to go to get to the decimal. So it's 1 here and 1, 2, 3 here, so altogether there's 4 steps. So you would start here and go 1, 2, 3, 4, but you can see how much more work that is just by counting spaces, counting decimals. If we can estimate, that works just as well. So there's our final answer.
Alright, so for the short method, to find out where the decimal goes, so you just multiply the number before
Yeah, just estimate.
decimal with the other numbers before the decimal?
Right.
Oh.
Or just round. Like, so right here, let's go down to number 5. We'll do the number 5 together too. So here, let's estimate first. This is 7.9, which is basically 8, right? And 7.3 rounds to 7. So 8 times 7 is 56. So our answer should be around 56. So let's try it out. 7.9. In this case, it doesn't matter which number is on top or bottom. So we have 3 times 9, 27. 3 times 7, 21. Plus 2 is 23. 7 times 9 is 63. I'm gonna 63. And 7 times 7 is 49. 49 plus 6 is 55. We have 7, 6, 7, 5. And once again, we estimated it to be 56 from 8 times 7. So 57.67 seems reasonable. And we can also count decimals. We'd have 1 here, and the second here, and 1, 2. So it works either way. It's nice to have two ways because you can check. If you can do it one way and then check it with another method, it's you're very confident in your work. So that's multiplying. You'll work on that a little bit. Flip it over. Do you want to do one more for multiplying, or are we good? Think you're comfortable at least? Of course, we'll be around to help you if you need it anyway. Let's look at the quotients, the dividing. So two ways of looking at this. The easier thing to do is just get rid of decimals. If you can get rid of decimals, and it makes it a little bit easier. I prefer to write it like this. Kind of like you're finding a common denominator. You multiply top and bottom by 10 just to move the decimals out. So if we move the decimal, each of these one to the right, they'll be gone. That's the same thing as just multiplying by 10. So the answer for 3.5 divided by 2.5 is the same answer as 35 divided by 25 if I move the decimal on both. You get the exact same number, and we don't have to worry about having decimals in the middle of our work. So I prefer to do it this way to show you why we move the decimals as opposed to just move them over because that's what works. We're actually multiplying by 10 on top and bottom. Okay, so let's put this in a long division. So 25 on the outside, 35 on the inside, and we usually put like a 0.0. And we can put the decimal above as well. And we might have to add more zeros if needed. Okay. So 25 goes into 35 one time. Okay. Subtract. $10. And bring down the 0. And 25 into 100 is 4. 25 times 4 is 100. End of problem. So your answer is 1.4. Okay. Let's try maybe number 15, and then you guys can go to work. We have 4.4 divided by 5. So I want to move the decimal here once by multiplying by 10. So I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, do 5 times 10. So if I move it once here on the top, I'll have 44. And multiplying 5 times 10, I'll get 50. Right?
Wait.
Yep.
How do you multiply 44 times 10 and get 44 and multiply 5 times 10 to 50?
So 4.4 times 10 is 44. And then 5 times 10 is 50. The multiplying by 10 just moves the decimal over. So this is technically like a 44.0, but we just don't write the point 0. Remember, multiplying by 10 and dividing by 10 just moves the decimal left and right. So we have now 50 dividing into 44. And we'll make it 44.0. We may have to add more zeros. We'll see. So yeah, so 50 does not go into 44, so we're already putting a 0 there. It doesn't go in at all, 0 times. Now, you have to figure out how many times does 50 go into 440 now. So if it helps, think about this. How many times, cover up a 0 on each one of them. How many times does 5 go into 44? 8 times, right? Because 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 9 would be 45, too much. So we'll go 8. So if 8 times 5 is 40, 8 times 50 will be 400. Adding a 0. So having a 0 here, we'll add a 0 here. Subtract them out. Get 40. So I'm going to add a 0, bring that down, and 50 goes into 400. We kind of just got that, right? We know that 8 times 50 is 400, so we'll do another 8. This time, it'll subtract to 0. All right. So here's a little review of multiplying and dividing decimals. Work on it for the next few minutes. And then like today, you can work on the beginning of the class if you want to finish it for homework and do all Khan Academy tomorrow. That's fine too. Whatever you like. Okay? All right. Go to work. We'll be around to help.